Yeah, that is nice. Good morning folks, and welcome back and welcome to the Yamaha R3. Now, the last video I uploaded, you'll see I was test riding this very bike, so you'll have probably worked out that the reason I'm riding it now is because I bought it. I was so impressed with this bike when I test rode it, and with the dealership, with them fitting a battery charger as standard, including delivery in the price, etc. They did such a good deal, so I bought it. But believe it or not, it's been over a month since this bike was delivered. In fact, it's 1 month today since this bike was delivered, and this is the first chance I've had to actually ride it. And that's because we're in the middle of winter. It's right now, we're in January, first week of January, and literally the day after the dealer delivered it, it snowed, and it just kept snowing. And then when it stopped snowing, it started raining, and it's just been raining every single day for nearly a month. And believe it or not, the forecast after today is rain for the foreseeable future. So this is my one day, and when I saw the forecast I thought I'd better get out on this bike. In fact, I've got to ride this, the BMW 313 GS, and my Westfield as well, take the Westfield car out all in one day, because I'm a strong believer in keeping these vehicles moving all the time and not letting them sit for too long. And they've already been sitting for literally a month. It's quite good to get on this bike for the first time in my ownership of it. It started immediately. As soon as I pressed the button, it started up, no problem. And the great thing about this bike is how good it sounds when you fire it up, given that everything on this is stock. I haven't changed the exhaust, everything's stock, and it fires up really well. It makes a great noise. It sounds so much like my old Ducati Supersport. And you wouldn't think for a minute that this, or I wouldn't think that this is a 300cc engine. So yeah, well, I'm going to give it a run, take it to McDonald's, get a burger and head back, and then I'm going to pick up the BMW GS 313, the bike that I've had for 2.5 years now, and give that a run as well. The view out of the rear view mirrors is excellent. I've got a great view, much better than I had with my Ducatis in the past. Great view out the mirrors. The bike's warmed up very, very quickly, being a small engine it would, and it feels great. It really does feel great. I've got to be careful because at the moment it's just 6 degrees Celsius. It's really cold. The roads are really still quite slippy. Despite it being sunny, they're actually still wet and slippy, so I'm going to be a bit careful. This bike doesn't have any real rider aids as such, other than ABS brakes. So it's great to be able to take this bike to the shift light. It definitely feels a heck of a lot faster than a 300cc motorcycle should feel. My previous Ducati Supersport and the 959 which I sold in my previous videos, they put out a lot of heat under the saddle, and right now I could do with that heat. This Yamaha doesn't put out any heat at all. That gear change is ultra smooth. The thing is, it's a bit weird finding yourself in 5th gear, 5 out of 6 gears, and I'm in 5th and I'm still only doing 30 miles an hour, because that's fine. And that's why this thing reads just such unbelievable MPG. Currently reading 87 miles to the gallon is what it's doing at the moment. This is very efficient. Makes you wonder why you would even need an electric bike, doesn't it, really? Those brakes are absolutely bang on. Everything's just bang on with this. I mean, you know, Japanese bikes are certainly well put together. On my favourite road. Okay, here we go. I've got to be honest, I don't see much difference in terms of the ability for this thing to get moving quickly between this and my Ducati Super Sport that I used to have. I really don't. This is just a little bit more exciting because you can play with the gears more, but it sounds good. I'm going to be careful around here. These roads are slippy and the bends are sharp, so being careful. When you're riding on roads like this, A roads and B roads, I mean, I'm really having to be quite careful here. Very easy to position this bike. Thinking of things I want to do with this bike, first of all, I think it's going to be pretty important to get some protective paint film put on it, because this being the rare GP colour, don't really want to get it. I'm sure it's easy to respray and whatnot, but I don't really want to get it damaged if I can protect it. So I'm going to get a quote having some paint protection film put on. The other thing I wouldn't mind having a look at is perhaps a seat cowling on the back, like a single seat cowling on the back, and maybe looking at a bit of carbon fibre. Not that this thing needs to be any lighter, of course, but might look good. Okay, here we go then. So we're coming up to a dual carriageway now where we can get it open. I think that lorry's gonna... Interesting is on here, so on a dual carriageway, you know, we can go 70 miles an hour up to 80 really. What I'm noticing is once you hit 80, the rev limiter light starts flashing. That's in top gear. So although it will do, as you can see, my god, although it will do considerably over the speed limits for a dual carriageway or motorway, which you will need to do to get past lorries and cars and things, get you out of trouble, which I just did there, just to get past that lorry. It was fine, it's absolutely fine. I'm going to pull in, get a McDonald's and go and change the bikes over. When you're seeing these horrible car parks like this one where there's big divots in the car parking space, you don't feel as worried about it because the bike's quite light and easy to manoeuvre. Yes, there we go. There we go. Well, that was pretty good. It's an impressive little machine, this.